Greetings, brothers and sisters. Tonight is December 8th, 2024. First mass meeting for the month of December for UNIA-ACL Division 421 here in Atlanta. Tonight's topics, by the way, my name is Brother John Hargrove. I serve as president for Division 421 here in Atlanta. Tonight, we'll be looking at a topic of Amy Ashwood and Amy Jacques Garvey. We'll talk about that more in the topic. We'll have a brief opening for today. We'll just do the pledge, and then we'll read the preamble of the Constitution. Then we'll go into our topic. So if everyone would, please come off mute and repeat after me, and we'll say, complete the pledge. I commit my body, mind, and spirit
I commit my body, mind, and spirit
to the protection, defense, and security
to the protection, defense, and security
of the red, black, and green.
of the red, black, and green.
I dedicate my life to the redemption of Mother Africa
I dedicate my life to the redemption of Mother Africa
and the liberation of her scattered Black children.
and the liberation of her scattered Black children.
I accept for myself and my descendants
I accept for myself and my descendants
the teachings of universal African nationalism.
the teachings of universal African nationalism.
And I promise that our children will be instilled
And I promise that our children will be instilled
with the purpose and knowledge of themselves as African people,
with the purpose and knowledge of themselves as African people,
in order that the cause of our struggle will neither falter nor fail,
in order that the cause of our struggle will neither falter nor fail,
until all Black people are free and united
until all Black people are free and united
through one God,
through one God,
one aim,
one aim,
one destiny.
and one destiny.
Praise first, family.
Praise first.
You may go back to mute. I'll read our preamble. That'll be our condensed rituals for today. Current slide. Preamble of the Universal Negro Improvement Association states that the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League is a social, friendly, humanitarian, charitable, educational, institutional, constructive, and expansive society, and is founded by persons desiring to the utmost to work for the general uplift of the Negro peoples of the world, and the members pledge themselves to do all in their power to conserve the rights of their noble race and to respect the rights of all mankind, believing always in the brotherhood of man and the fatherhood of God. The motto of the organization is one God, one aim, one destiny. Therefore, let justice be done to all mankind, realizing that if the strong oppresses the weak, confusion and discontent will ever mark the path of man, but with love, faith, and charity towards all, the reign of peace and plenty will be heralded into the world, and the generations of men shall be called blessed. Okay. Stop sharing. One moment. So as everyone should have gotten an email, been aware of the focus for tonight's topic. One of these sisters is born, I believe their birthday was yesterday. But we'll read a brief history of Amy Ashwood Garvey, as well as Amy Jacques Garvey, in honor of their history and legacy and contributions to our race. Sister Diane, would you be able to read for me? Sister Diane, you there? Sister Cecily, would you be able?
Hi.
Could you help me read this, please?
Sure. On the 10th of January, 1897, Amy Ashwood Garvey was born in Port Antonio, Jamaica, and her personal journey as a prominent Pan-Africanist and a leading figure in the Windrush generation began. From an early age, she possessed a strong drive for social justice and equality, which eventually led her to play a crucial role in advocating for Black self-determination, racial pride, and the unification of African people worldwide. Her life took a significant turn when she met Marcus Garvey in 1914. Sharing a passion for racial equality, the pair co-founded the UNIA, Universal Negro Improvement Association, the same year. As a dedicated advocate, Amy Ashwood tirelessly worked for the cause, even after her marriage to Marcus Garvey in 1919, which ended in divorce 3 years later. When Amy Ashwood moved to London in the 1920s, her unwavering commitment to the
Cecily. Sister Cecily, you there? Okay. She says, sharing a passion for racial equality, the pair co-founded the Universal Negro Improvement Association, UNIA, that same year. As a dedicated advocate, Amy Ashwood tirelessly worked for the cause even after her marriage to Marcus Garvey in 1919, which ended in divorce 3 years later. When Amy Ashwood moved to London in the 1920s, her unwavering commitment to the Pan-Africanist movement gained her respect and admiration among her peers. She co-founded the International African Friends of Abyssinia in 1934 alongside fellow activists C.L.R. James, George Padmore, and Jomo Kenyatta. The IAFA's mission to protect Ethiopia's sovereignty during the Italian invasion demonstrated Amy's deep concern for her fellow Africans and her belief in self-determination. Recognizing the need to empower Black women, Amy Ashwood Garvey established the Afro Women's Center in London. The social and cultural hub provided support, education, and recreation opportunities for women of African descent, while also promoting Pan-Africanism. In 1944, Amy Ashwood Garvey returned to her homeland, Jamaica, and continued fighting for workers' rights, women's rights, and independence from British colonial rule. Her love for the arts found expression in organizing the first Jamaican National Arts Festival in 1945 and hosting a radio show called The Feminine Point of View. Amy Ashwood Garvey's life was marked by extensive travels and participation in numerous Pan-African congresses and conferences. Her unwavering commitment to racial pride and Black self-determination left a lasting impact on the Windrush generation and the history of Black activism and civil rights. On the 3rd of May, 1969, Amy Ashwood Garvey passed away in Kingston, Jamaica, leaving behind a powerful legacy. Her personal story from her birth to her final days and perseverance and dedication to the rights of Black people continues to inspire future generations to champion the cause of equality and justice. Today we're focusing on the two Amy's, Amy Ashwood Garvey was Mr. Garvey's first wife, and she was there during the establishment of the UNIA-ACL in 1916. Any questions, comments on Amy Ashwood Garvey? Check their birthday because I know one of them, I want to say somebody was just born or passed away yesterday on the 7th.
President John,
Yes.
Amy Ashwood was instrumental in starting the UNIA and the ACL.
Yes.
And was she instrumental in starting the Black Cross nurses?
No. She would have been out of the UNIA and divorced from Mr. Garvey prior to the establishment of the Black Cross nurses.
Was her involvement with the UNIA only instrumental in her marriage with the Honorable Marcus Garvey?
No, she was also secretary, at least in the establishment of the First Division. She had the role of secretary. Her later roles, I'm not sure what they were, but it wasn't just her being the wife of Mr. Garvey, but she also served as an officer in the UNIA.
Did this continue after her divorce from the Honorable?
No, no. She left the organization. Obviously, I mean, yeah, that was irreconcilable differences. She couldn't. I'm not gonna say she couldn't, but she didn't continue to work with the UNIA. She just split from Mr. Garvey.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, we must honor our sisters. And two of the highest sisters that we honor in the UNIA are the first.
Oh, most definitely. She was one of the founders.
Yes, yes. So yes. All right. Let me. I gotta find. Give me a moment because I didn't have my. I couldn't find my Whirlwind newsletter that had all this information in one place. So give me a moment to find the second article.
In my research, with them having the same name, the same first name, and by marriage, the same last name, it gets very detailed on the accomplishments of each of them because each of them had great accomplishments for the UNIA-ACL. Race first.
Yes, thank you, Brother Art. And that's the importance of studying the sisters and understanding the distinguishment. Sometimes their work gets combined, you know, out of ignorance. Okay. Now we got a article on Amy Jakes Garvey. Brother Art, would you do us honor, help us read this article, please? It's a little bit longer than Amy Ashwood.
Race first. Is this the study of Emily Clayson? Delves into the remarkable life and contributions.
Emily Clayson, yeah.
Okay, delves into the remarkable life of contributions of Amy Jacques Garvey. a prominent activist in the struggle for Black empowerment and cultural pride in the 20th century. The blog explores Amy's upbringing in a politically engaged Jamaican household and her pivotal role in the racial and gender equality. The doll baby, do you want me to read this? The
Yes,
doll
please.
baby type. Okay, the doll baby type of woman is a thing of the past. And the wide awake woman is forging ahead, prepared for all emergencies and ready to answer any call, even if it be face the cannons on the battlefield. Born in Kingston, Jamaica in 1895, Amy Jacques Garvey stands as a prominent activist and journalist who made significant contributions to the Pan-African civil rights and feminist movements. Learned by Brother Shaka Barak, Pan-African is used in a widely variety. And in this movement, it's best to refer to it as African nationalists. The civil rights and feminist movements raised in a politically engaged household with strong Victorian values. Her upbringing shaped her long life commitments to justice, equality, and security of Black people globally. Her father, George S. Jacques, a dedicated newspaper editor advocating for Jamaican workers' rights, instilled in her a strong sense of social responsibility and activism from an early age. At the age of 13, Amy began her journey in activism by joining the Universal Negro Improvement Association, founded by the Honorable Marcus Garvey, whom she later married after migrating to the U.S. in 1917. Amy shared Marcus's vision of a better future for Black people, advocating her pride, economic independence, and self-sufficiency. She firmly believed that security and empowerment hinged not only on physical safety, but also on access to economic opportunities, financial stability, and robust social support systems. Her vision included a creation of an independent Black nation by financial self-sufficiency, a Pan-African political position she articulated through her role as an editor of the Negro World, the UNIA's newspaper. Amy's influence within the UNIA extended far beyond her role as Garvey's wife, as she played a vital role in the growth of Garveyism as a powerful philosophy and Black nationalist movement advocating for self-governing Black nations in Africa. Her words and ideas were not merely echoes from Garvey's speeches, they were distinct expressions of her own Pan-African political vision of economic empowerment, cultural identity and racial equality and justice, and gender equality. For this reason, she started earning recognition as a political leader in her own right, and crowds often chanted, "We want Mrs. Garvey," highlighting her significant impact and the widespread recognition of her work. One of her notable contributions was her unwavering commitment to addressing issues of gender equality within the UNIA. As the editor of the women's page, she aimed to give out the thought of women on all subjects and directly address the modern Negro woman who believes God has not limited her intellect because of her gender. The page allowed her to elevate women's rank and influence in the UNIA to advocate to advance proto-feminist beliefs within the male censorship. She insisted on the liberation of Black women, arguing that their experience with multiple forms of oppression had equipped them to oversee a global movement for the liberation of all Black people. Women, therefore, were extending this holy influence outside the realms of home, softening the ills of the world by their gracious and kindly contact. Under her leadership, the UNIA established the Black Cross nurses to provide health care and education to Black communities, emphasizing her belief that education and health care were essential components to security and self-sufficiency within the marginalized communities. The UNIA recognized challenges in accessing essential services such as healthcare and education. So by addressing these obstacles, they reduced the vulnerabilities of these communities and laid the necessary foundations for overcoming the structural barriers that perpetuated their marginalization. Amy Jacques Garvey understood that the true security of Black people extended beyond physical safety. It included economic, social, and political empowerment. Through her activation and writings, she promoted self-determination and self-reliance as essential components of security for all Black people. Her work continues to inspire and serve as a reminder that lasting security can only be achieved when the root causes of injustice and inequality are addressed and when all individuals are afforded their inherent rights and opportunities.
Thank you, Brother Art. That completes reading on Amy Jakes. The article I was able to find some images. Oh, shit. some of the images of Amy Jakes. It's a popular image of her in her youth. Popular image of her later in her life. Women as Leaders, books she wrote. But in addition to Mr. Garvey, we must continue to honor every year the legacy of Amy Ashwood, Amy Jakes Garvey. Any questions, comments on Amy Jakes Garvey or Amy Ashwood Garvey?
Hey, good evening.
Greetings.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I don't know too much about both figures, so I'm learning a lot in this beginning part of it. So thank you for the program.
Thank you, my brother. Key takeaway, these were the wives of Mr. Garvey. Amy Ashwood was the first wife. Amy Jakes was the second wife. But Mr. Garvey, he wasn't doing this work alone. There's obviously other people that we honor as well. But we think, we believe that the highest position should be reserved for Mr. Garvey and both of his wives, Amy Ashwood Garvey and Amy Jakes Garvey. And we must remember their contributions as well. I'm trying to find the CVPM article. See if there is a CVPM article. Any other questions, comments before we move to member share?
I just want to say thank you for highlighting those two women, because there's a saying, that behind every successful man, there's successful women, and sometimes when we get caught up in Garvey and Garveyism, we forget that he had a good support and good companionship that helped to shape him and make him who he was. So it's good that we remember the other ancestors, particularly these two Amy's. Thank you. Race first.
Thank you, Lady President, Sister Diane.
Ladies first.
Questions, comments on the two Amy's, Amy Ashwood, Amy Jakes Garvey?
Yes, greetings, President John.
Race first, President Ross.
Where did you get the readings from?
You gotta do that. The
No.
first one I got was a better source. I think it was Black Past or Black History.
Okay.
It wasn't Black Past, was it? BlackHistoryMonth.org UK. This is where I got the first Amy Ashwood information from. The
Okay.
Amy Jakes, I thought it was a black source, but I think it was it said King's London, I believe. Amy. I was trying to find I couldn't find my CBPM news Whirlwind newsletter. I know we go over and share information on these sisters every year, but I couldn't find that. Yeah, it was King's College London. But I saw Black History Month, Amy Jakes Garvey. So that's where I went.
Okay, give thanks. Brother Art, take note for the whirlwind.
And American Intellectual. I think this was probably a better one.
Yes, sir.
American Intellectual History Society. Let's see what they got here. Any other questions or comments while we wait for this page to load up?
Hi,
Greetings.
greetings. This is Sister Laureen, President of 30 Division in Washington, D.C. And I would just like to say that I am very pleased and happy that you all are having this mass meeting. I feel a kinship to Amy Ashwood Garvey in particular because her birthday is in January like mine. Although both Amy's, not only being Amy's, but they both were Capricorns. One was a December Cap. And on the 30th, that's Amy Jackson. Amy Ashwood's birthday is January 10th, if I'm not mistaken. I also want to say that Amy Ashwood's contribution is wonderful because of the fact that she spread the word of the UNIA and Garveyism, and she was seriously a Black advocate for people. And the fact that she helped co-sponsor and start the UNIA in Jamaica with Brother Marcus Garvey, and the fact that then she came to New York after following him, after he was in New York for 2 years, then she came afterwards. I believe that the presence and the recognition of women in the UNIA is because of her contribution in terms of looking at where sisters are. And there was always that. And unfortunately, a lot of brothers don't want to give her that recognition, but I will always give her that because not only did she spread the word throughout the United States, she spread the word in the United Kingdom, as well as several countries in Africa, in the Caribbean islands, as well as South America. I'm thankful for the contribution of Amy Jacques and that she maintained all of the writings and speeches, and she was the archivist for the UNIA as well as for Marcus Messiah Garvey. So both sisters, both wives had a major contribution to the UNIA-ACL. And I just wanted to make that clear. And I am complete.
Thank you.
Asante Sana, sister.
But yes, I think Lady President Lorraine summarized it very well. But yeah, Amy Ashwood Garvey, Amy Jakes Garvey, these are the sisters that stood with Mr. Garvey in the creation and the expansion of the Universal Negro Improvement Association. So we must make sure that they are not forgotten and lost to history.
That's not Lady President, that's President Lorraine.
Yes. I thought I said that. I'm sorry if I didn't. President Lorraine.
Thank you.
Do we know about like the children from each wives? How did that?
To my knowledge, there was only children from Amy Jakes Garvey, and that would be Marcus Garvey Jr. and Julius Garvey. Marcus Garvey Jr. Served as the 7th, I believe, President General of the UNIA. He transitioned 1992, I think. Please correct me if I'm wrong on any of these dates. And then Julius Garvey is still with us, working for the exoneration of his father. So those are, yeah, it's just those two. They're the two only sons, and only one is alive currently, Julius.
Yeah, Amy Ashwood did not have any children with him.
Thank you.
I don't think she had any children, period.
Okay, thank you for that. Raise first.
Thank you, Lady President. Any other questions on tonight's topic before we move to member share? Okay, if there's not, Lady President, would you be able to host member share for us?
I believe so.
You could just start with our sisters. Work
Okay.
your way down the list.
See here. Okay, so okay, I guess this is alphabetized, so I'll go ahead and greetings, everyone. Welcome to the call today. I will go ahead and start with Sister Hensley. Is Sister Hensley on the call?
That's brother. That's a brother.
And
Oh, goodness. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Forgive me. Okay.
hang
All
tight.
right.
Hang tight.
I just see the last name, so forgive me. Let's see here.
Okay.
Hotel.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay.
Um,
You were calling me?
Go ahead, Sister Diane, Lady President, if you would go ahead and let Brother Ansley. Brother Ansley, greetings. We're in member share. Open any topic that you'd like to discuss, whether it's related to what we've discussed, UNIA, hot topics in the news, whatever it may be.
Okay. I mean, I was just listening to what was going on with Amy Garvey. I thought it was gonna be like, I guess, continuing on like with different questions that people might have about Amy Garvey, and we kind of just build from there.
you can do that. I'm actually not showing unless I'm not seeing everyone. I'm not showing too many sisters on the call today. So I guess I can just go ahead.
Well, yeah, Brother Ansley. No, we usually spend a few minutes in the beginning on the topic, and just to highlight the topic. We didn't have a lot in regards to reading for those two sisters today. So if there weren't any further questions or questions for clarification or anything, then at this point we've moved to member share. But again, if you have any questions in regards to the topic, we can work to clarify that as well.
Okay. I mean, I can ask questions because it's something that I've written down. But if there's not anybody who has something that's prepared already.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we'll start back with location. So both of them were born in Jamaica. Both Amy Garvey and Amy Ashwood.
I saw that one of them were. I'm not sure if they both were. I have to double check.
Okay.
I know Amy Ashwood was. I'm not sure about Amy Jacques. I'm assuming that she is from Jamaica as well, but I definitely know that Amy Ashwood is from Jamaica. They both were born in Jamaica.
Both born
That's a French last name, or what is that? Her middle name, or that's her maiden name, or
Ashwood
that's the
is
name? That's her
Amy's
family name.
maiden name, and Jacques is her maiden name.
So yeah,
And the way you remember which one was first is A comes first.
Yep.
So Ashwood, since they're both of them were named Amy, but Ashwood was the first wife. So I always go A for Ashwood, and the other one is J, comes down further down the line of the alphabet, and she was the second one.
Okay.
yeah, both born in Jamaica.
Both born in Jamaica. What you said? What was it? You said St. Anne. You said St. Anne for one of them.
I got Kingston, Jamaica for Amy Jakes. Let's see.
Okay.
Port Antonio. I'm not sure if that was used to be Saint Port Antonio, Jamaica, birthplace for Amy Ashwood.
I did want to get. I guess the other question I had was about their roles in the UNIA, because I think I heard when we were doing the reading that one of them is the founder, and then another one joins the UNIA at a later point.
Yeah, Amy Ashwood, first wife, she was there in the founding of the organization, and she served as secretary for the First Division.
And then Amy Garvey, the second wife, Amy Jacques. Is that what she used to go by? Amy Jacques, like, where is that come from?
To my understanding, I've been told she went by Amy Jakes, Jakes as opposed to Jocks. Jocks had more of a masculine tone, but yeah, she went by Amy Jakes Garvey.
So they spend a significant time in the UK.
The UK?
The three of them, or they meet in different places.
Like, say that again. I didn't understand the
question. I was saying because the articles that were written, they're coming from sources in Europe.
The second one came from a London source, yeah.
Yeah, so my question was, did Amy Ashwood, Amy Garvey all meet in London? Or I know that that's a great point that that one of the sisters made earlier, that we kind of or I think that was the host, when we were saying like these things don't get highlighted when we're seeing the history of Marcus Garvey,
yeah,
as much as they should, because they did play some significant role in the founding of the UNIA. And so like, but my question is, do they all? Because I know that Marcus Garvey spends time in London area. Yeah, I don't even know it to that extent, but to even say the particular area. But I would like to kind of know more, and I'm kind of like rambling on right now, but I would like to know more about where they all met and if they were meeting in the same place, or
where they all met. Mr. Garvey spent the last few years of his life in Well, I don't know if it's particularly London, but in Europe, no, England. Um, as it says, it talks about where they met. Amy Ashwood met Garvey in Jamaica, and it talked about Amy Jacques Garvey didn't meet Mr. Garvey until she came to America. Uh, so they met, they met him at different times throughout their lives. Um, neither one of them spent a significant amount of time in London. When I mean neither one of them, I mean Amy Jakes or Amy Ashwood. Neither one of them spent a lot of time in London.
President John,
Yes.
to my understanding, Amy Ashwood was there when the UNIA was started in 1914.
Yes.
She was a lawyer in Kingston, and Marcus left St. Anne's and went to Kingston, and she hooked up with Amy Ashwood. He hooked up with Amy Ashwood, Ashwood Garvey, and they started the UNIA together July 19th, 1914. But Amy Jacques Garvey knew Marcus Garvey and worked with Marcus Garvey from Jamaica. And then she came to the United States and reunited with Marcus Garvey. In other words, she didn't meet Marcus Garvey in the United States. She worked with Marcus Garvey from Jamaica.
From letters and things like that.
You're talking about Amy Jakes Garvey? Met him in Jamaica as well?
Yes.
Okay. That's something new.
Yes, from my study and my research, they worked together in Jamaica, and then Marcus left Jamaica and came to the United States, and Amy Jacques Garvey came a year or two afterwards and joined up with Marcus Garvey.
Okay.
Well, I thought that I heard it just the opposite. That and what I was reading is that Amy Ashwood and Marcus Garvey started the UNI, as you said, in 1914, and he had been corresponding with what's his name? Booker T. Washington, and he was supposed to be meeting him, but Booker T. Washington died a year before he came to the United States. And after he was in the United States for 2 years, then Amy Ashwood joined him, and once again they started up with the UNIA in the United States in New York. And then I understand that Amy Jacques, at one point in time, was his secretary. And she also was, interestingly enough, the maid of honor of Amy Ashwood when she and Marcus Garvey married. Okay. So I don't know when she met him in Jamaica, but I know that he and Ashwood and him were together in Jamaica. I don't know how much romantically, but it was said that she was his Josephine to his fashioning himself after Napoleon Bonaparte and Josephine. So that's what he was saying. And that's one of the quotes I've seen a number of places. So I don't know. I'd never read how he and Amy Jacques, I call it Jacques, but Jakes, when they met. But I do know they were all together, as well as Henrietta Vint Davis, when they were in New York.
So it sounds like for sure Amy Ashwood and Mr. Garvey met in Jamaica, but there's likely potential that Mr. Garvey met Amy Jakes Garvey in Jamaica as well.
I see. Well, I know he liked the name Amy.
Brother Art, I see you got your hand up. Brother Art, you on mute.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to get off mute. Race first, my honorable presidents, past and present. Can we assist Ainsley in gaining some reading material so he can understand this? And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody. Race first, love him, love his questions.
Yes, yes. President Ross, if I was hoping, like I said, I was trying to find the Whirlwind newsletter that we've sent out around this time in the past. And I believe it's titled The Two Amy's. But that has an extensive, well, it's not like a full comprehensive, but it's a little bit more of the background and the history and the biography of these sisters. President Ross, can you speak to that article?
Yes, President John. Most likely we'll be rerunning it again in the issue coming out this week for the Whirlwind newsletter. So Brother Ainsley and everybody, make sure you look out for the Whirlwind newsletter this week, because that will be the main topic. Amy Ashwood Garvey and Amy Jacques Garvey. So we'll republish that article in this week's issue coming up.
Thank you, President Ross. And yeah, Brother Ainsley, I would use that as a foundational component, but also look into the writings of both sisters. If I don't know if Amy Ashwood had any writings, but we saw that Amy Jakes had a book that she authored, Women, I think it was titled Women Leadership. Jakes Garvey. So it was Amy Ashwood that had the book. Take out the middle name. Take out the maiden name. 1 second. All right, book.
Hey, good evening. Brother, I thank you for the disclaimer, because I'm essentially here to learn from people who have know different things than me, know more than what I may know. And I'm glad that I'm able to kind of like fill in the gaps of the timeline of Marcus Garvey's life, Brother Marcus Garvey's life. And so I take those resources and I appreciate them. As I was listening, because there's so many things that you can pick out of this, and but what comes to my mind is what is the role of the secretary in the UNIA? Like, Amy Garvey has this. I don't even want to mix it up again. I wanted to be like in my head what is their like role in the formation of what we know as the UNIA-ACL, or might not even are these organizations separate? That's the question I need to ask. But the main one is the secretary. What is the role of the secretary? Because what is the foremost achievement of the UNIA? Like, what happens first? And I guess and then we put the two together, like the role of the secretary and that foremost achievement of the UNIA, like being able to put those together.
When you say foremost achievement, what do you mean by foremost achievement?
I mean, when I say foremost, Or, mm,
I can explain
before the most.
I can explain the responsibilities of a secretary, but when you said foremost achievement, I don't know. I have an answer for that one.
I think
Or
can you hear
before
me?
the many. Yes.
Achievement for the many.
No, can you guys hear me?
Yes, Lady President, we hear you.
I'm thinking that the best source for that is Race First. I mean, Race First starts out with a history of the UNIA, and then Race First dives into all the intricate details of what happened from, pretty much Garvey's birth to what happened, all the various things that happened in between birth and his death, and all the happenings of the UNIA, the movement, and the betrayal, not just by, some of them, well, internally and externally, in particular, the government of Europe, the United States, just the worldwide influence of the Garvey's movement and what was done to sabotage leading up to the steamships. I mean, everything is covered in that book. And, we kind of did study of it to some extent, but that is an excellent book. It's very packed. It's got everything in there, but I think that's a good historical reference for kind of understanding what the UNIA was about, what moved Garvey to start that, and all the accomplishments in between.
Yeah, so if you're talking about a comprehensive source of information of the history of the UNIA and the Garvey movement, yes, Race First would be that source.
Lady President and President, can I, as a secretary of the 421 Division, can I step in?
Sure.
The secretary and all officers of any division or the organizations of the UNIA-ACL is all about the work. We must work for our race. Race first.
Race First. Thank you, brother. President Lorraine, I see you got your hand up.
Yes. I just wanted to address the question about what was the foremost accomplishments, I guess you want to say about the UNIA. And in my mind, and this is truly just my opinion, it was a lifting of self-worth and self-appreciation, because when you think about when this happened, it was truly a few years after we were coming out of slavery. Black people, African Americans, even those Africans in the Caribbean islands in South America as well, coming out of that situation, being brought from Africa over to this country and this part of the world without our permission. And I'm saying that it was the unifying and the upliftment of the race in terms of us looking at ourselves not from their perspective, but from our own perspective. And it was a appreciation of being Black at that time, or being Negro at that time. and he was able to pull in people from all over the country, Black people, as well as throughout the diaspora. And that's no minor feat. And it's been in place all of these years, in spite of the conflicts with, like the sister was saying before, within and without of the organization or the government. And there's all other groups, organizations have modeled after the UNIA in some form or fashion. And that's an accomplishment as well. I just wish that we could recognize our self-worth again, because it's almost like we're being reverted back to different things, and they're using the media to do it. You know, with not only Facebook has positive and negative, but you know, with TikTok and a lot of the commercials that you see on TV and the media, you know, they're always portraying Black people somehow, some way in a negative light. We have all kinds of ailments and things like that, where they really don't tell you that they have more of these ailments than we do. But they don't portray that we're always being portrayed in a negative, and we need to self-actualize. And I think that that's what Garvey's biggest thrust was, that actualizing ourselves and self-respect and self-love for being Black. So, you know, that's my answer to that. And it's been going on for over 100 years.
I agree.
Thank you, President Lorraine. Thank you, Lady
Brother
President.
John,
Yeah.
Yes,
this is Charles,
Charles, greetings.
former third assistant president general.
Greetings.
I'd just like to say that to understand what Garvey did, it might be helpful to look at the fact that he was a world traveler, in the sense that he traveled all over South America, Central America. He came to North America. He went to London. And everywhere that he went, he saw that Black people were on the bottom of everything. And they were always mistreated everywhere that he found them. And because of that, he made speeches and tried to convince people that we needed our own kings, our own presidents, our own everything, so that we could come up out of the mire that we were in around the world and have all of this positiveness with us. As a result of his efforts, we have what's known now worldwide as the Harlem Renaissance. And he inspired all the folks in Harlem to write poetry, to write in the newspapers for him, to make music, and all kinds of contributions and participations with the Garvey movement. So he was inspired by the people to speak for the people. And that's really, I think, his greatest challenge and his greatest emphasis.
Yeah, one of the things that our orientation instructor teaches us, in line with what has been said, is Mr. Garvey sold the Black race back to itself. So he got us to convince, well, not convince, but he got us to believe in ourselves and in our own leadership. But Brother Ansley, does that help at all with your question? Were we in the right direction, or were we way off base? Brother Ansley, is he still here? Yeah.
If I may add to what you just said, President John.
Go ahead, President Ross.
Yeah, Brother Ansley and everyone, I want you to know you can't learn the whole UNIA in one meeting or two meetings. You're going to just have to keep on coming back, because every meeting you'll pick up something.
Yep.
So it's a continual education.
Yeah, that was a tough when he asks, some of the questions, it's like, wait a minute, you're asking a big question. But role of and in regards to the role of secretary, as our secretary, recording secretary, Brother Art said, doing the work, making sure the work is done. But I've learned, our secretary is the most important, well, not the most important, but the busiest job in the government. Presidents are very busy as well, but if you got a good group of secretaries, then the president doesn't have to do as much. But we have financial secretaries, recording secretaries, corresponding secretaries that all have different roles. Even a general secretary or executive secretary, which is kind of the head of all of the secretaries. But the secretaries, as Brother Art said, make sure the work is getting done. So in that time for Mr. Garvey, I can imagine taking meeting minutes, taking dues, doing monthly financial reports. Those would be some of the things, taking attendance, probably helping with promoting for the meetings. Those would be some of the things that I could see Amy Ashwood doing as one of our first secretaries. Okay, Lady President, I'm gonna hand it back to you to continue member share, and we get back to our sisters.
Can I add
Okay.
another thing? Can I add another thing?
President Ross, please. Yes.
Yes. When it comes to the roles of the secretaries, as President John and Brother Art mentioned, you have different levels of secretary. You have a secretary on the parent body level, and that's called a secretary general. And she's the head of all secretaries for all UNIA divisions. Now, when a UNIA division gets formed, you have to have an executive secretary, which is the head of the secretaries for the local division. But in addition to the executive secretary in a UNIA division, you have the recording secretary's responsibility to take the notes of the minutes during the meetings. You have the financial secretary who's responsible for the collection of dues and tracking the dues of members' payments. And you have the financial, recording, executive, and one secretary I missed a note is the what is the third secretary, the fourth secretary in the division?
Correspondence.
Corresponding secretary deals with the communications. Thank you, Brother Art. From the division to the membership and team. That's in general, but if you look at the Constitution outlines the executive secretary responsibility, and I believe the secretary general's responsibility, and the local division bylaws outlines the four secretaries: executive secretary, correspondence secretary, recording secretary, and financial secretary. And you'll see that inside of our bylaws for Division 421.
Okay. Thank you for that, Brother Ross. So, I would like to thank Brother Ross, Brother John, Brother Art, Brother Charles, and Sister President Queen Lorraine for contributing. And one of the things I think can really help, I don't remember, Brother John, when we normally do this, but a certain time of the year, we actually look at the chart of the organization as far as roles that we all serve and roles that needs to be filled. And I think when we do that again, that would be an amazing thing to do. So Brother Ansley can kind of learn the roles that each of us play as well as learn roles that we need people to fill. So I'm not sure when we normally do that, but I think that would be something that would be beneficial as well, Brother Hensley.
Yes, you're talking about local or parent body level? organization?
When we do the local.
Okay, yeah, I'll pull that up. I'll pull that up in the background.
Okay. So, so that being said, so we can continue with member share. I know President Queen Lorraine had shed some light on a few things. I don't know if you wanted to share some more as far as any other topics or more on the topic we've been discussing.
I do know that there is a book. In fact, I saw the cover of the book, and it was written by Tony Martin about Amy Ashwood Garvey, and that he wrote. And it was interesting because in the beginning he starts to talk about the fact that at first, he started writing the book maybe 6 years earlier, but some things came up and then he stopped. And then since then, he had an opportunity to talk to more people that were familiar with her and the different things that she said. And he was glad that he had stopped writing the book because the book would not have been as complete and of an aspect of what she was like and how I won't say complicated, but what was entailed with that. I do want to emphasize the fact that she was definitely a woman for that promoted. She was definitely, as Dr. Frances Cress Welsing always says, a race woman, and in terms of loving Black people and trying to promote the love for each other, for self and one another. And the fact that she just traveled so much. She, at one point in time when she was younger, she went to school in, I think it was Nicaragua. So she spoke Spanish fluently. So she went to not only English-speaking countries, but as well as Spanish-speaking countries. She was a good friend of the president in Liberia at that time, President Tubman, and she spent time there in Liberia. And I know that she spent, and I think quiet as it's kept, she was definitely someone that was promoting the rights and privileges of women, and especially Black women. But it's interesting because I think that this is just me talking once again, but I was just analyzing the times that things happened, and women's suffrage was happening right around that time. And I think that as time went on, that they saw how Black women had such a presence within the UNIA. And I think that after a while, the white women decided, oh, maybe we need to step up our game, So the things that I've read about her, she definitely was a no-nonsense person. And she definitely was a great speaker. So she was able to, she just was all over the place, she the ever ready bunny as far as I'm concerned, because of her experience, not only in the United Kingdom, but as well as I'm trying to think of what other European countries that she was in, but I know that definitely she had a presence there, and she was spreading the word of the UNIA and trying to start divisions there, as well as in South America, a number of countries in Central America and in the Caribbean islands. So, she had a great contribution to the UNIA, to Black people, and to Black women, especially.
Wow.
So that's one of my ancestors that I admire. And warriors, healers, and builders, they said we need to build an ancestral people that, whether family or non. And she's definitely one of mine, along with Dr. Frances Cress Welsing and Ida B. Wells and Madam C.J. Walker. Those are my 4 women that I am not related to, as far as I know, that are my sheroes, my Black sheroes, in terms of and ancestors. They were, all 4 of them were powerful women, as far as I was concerned, and no nonsense and self-made. And they all were contributing to I won't say, I hate to use the word struggle, to the promotion and the upliftment of Black life and self-confidence and self-actualization. Okay, I'll be quiet now. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you so much for sharing, Sister Lorraine. Yes, indeed, we must honor our ancestors, the women who made remarkable contribution to the upliftment of the race, and encourage other women to contribute, because we all have a lot within ourselves to contribute. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so as we continue with member share, I am not sure if Lady Vice President, Sister Cicely's on the line. Sister
Yes.
Cicely, if you're on the line, would you like to share, contribute, comment?
Yes, Race First family, for the wonderful presentation.
I can't hear.
Yeah, are you on mute? You may.
I think
Sister Cicely?
she might have dropped off.
Sorry about that. Okay, I'm happy that we were able to have Division 330 come through and share their beautiful energy with us. And I'm just overall happy to be here with you guys. Race First.
Race First. Thank you, Sister Cicely. Let's see. Is Dr. Kuda on the line with us today? I'm not seeing everyone. Okay. So then, moving right along, who is iPad? Someone's called iPad. I don't know if that's a sister or a brother.
iPad,
Yes.
you announce yourself, iPad. iPad, can you announce yourself?
iPad, I believe, is a Ziza, and she may not be
Okay.
at her.
Okay.
Thank you, Attorney Matep.
All right. Well, let's see. Brother Charles, I'll just go down the list, and if I miss anyone, please feel free to step up. So I'll call in Brother Charles. Brother Charles shared a little before, but we were talking about the history of and the contribution.
Well, yes, I have a point of interest that I came across as well. There was a guy, I think he was an undercover agent for the FBI, and he attempted to assassinate Brother Garvey. And in doing so, when he shot at him, Sister Amy Ashwood Garvey knocked him down so that he would not get hit by the bullet. And there were other brothers and sisters there, and they they captured the guy and held him for the police to come and arrest him. So when the brother was asking what are the duties of the secretary, that's not a prescribed duty, but we can see that sisters take it seriously.
Wow. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
did.
My.
She also was very instrumental when she went to London in creating the first Caribbean restaurant in London, which folks
Wow.
don't really know. She was the very first person to create that.
Nice. Wow. Well, thank you for that, Brother Charles.
So sister was busy.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, Brother Charles, if you have nothing else to add, we can move to, I think Sister Aziza joined us on the call. Sister Aziza, can you hear us? Are you off mute? Okay, we can come back to Sister Aziza. And we're mixing it up, sister and brother, today, so don't worry. Well, I'm trying to get to everyone. Let's see. Brother Art.
Race first.
Race first.
I have nothing else to say except to thank Brother Charles and Sister for their contribution to our meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Art. Race first. Okay. Is First VP Brother Amasius on the line with us today?
Greetings, Race First family.
Greetings, Brother Amasius.
Happy Garvey Day, everybody. It's a beautiful day. Be a Garveyite, especially when we have Vision 330 on the call. Greetings to our past 36th President General Charles Butler and the President Queen Lorraine. Good to see you all.
Absolutely.
Yes. I just wanted to, we are continuing our work here in Division 421. Greetings to everyone for being here. Well, of course, we have a couple of events coming up. I'm not sure you guys touched on them already. We have our Kwanzaa event coming up. Just wanted to hope everyone excited about that. We're also working on an awards banquet where we will be highlighting our community members in February. So just wanted to touch on those two events that we have coming up. Hope everyone will participate and also share these events. Not sure if the flyer will share or not, or we can, President John, for the Kwanzaa event at least. But hope everyone comes out and attends and enjoys that event as well. So Race First family, well, of course, we have our meeting on Thursday for our business meeting, but we'll be furthering the planning for our awards banquet as well. So anybody would like to participate in volunteering to assist with that event, this Thursday at 8 o'clock, we'll be having the meeting, business meeting, and we'll be discussing that fundraiser in more detail. So that's all I have. Race First family, and yep, that's the Kwanzaa flyer there. And hopefully see you guys there. Race First. Invite a friend to tell a friend.
Race,
Awesome.
brothers, good hearing from you.
Good hearing from you.
Thank you for the respect and the recognition.
Yes. Love you guys.
Love
the power
you.
couple of UNIA right there, y'all. That's the power couple of UNIA right there.
You sound like Lauren Chris Love. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings, and thank you so much for that, Brother Amasius. Okay, so next we will move to Chaplain Mitchell. Mitchell. Is Chaplain Mitchell on the line? Okay, so we will come back to Brother Mitchell. Okay, so I see Brother Ormond on the line with us. Brother Ormond, would you like to share about today's race first?
Very interesting conversation. I have really nothing to share at this time. I'm just glad to be able to be here. Race first.
Race first. And thank you, Brother Ormond, for being on the call with us today.
You're quite welcome.
Yes. And so next we have Dr. Shams. Dr. Shams, are you on the call with us today?
Yes, I am. Race first.
Race first. Good to have you on the call.
Yeah, I put a quote in the chat today in common with my website. The mission of my one of the first and primary missions of my website. And Marcus Garvey, he backs me on this one. He says, and I quote, "Great stress must be laid on the fact that for the Negro to realize the objective of a nation and government of his own, he must first have financial security." That was said by Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and end quote. And my website is dedicated. It has business and jobs on there and stuff. It's dedicated to helping our people make money first, and then everything else falls behind that. So the link for the opportunity is there at the top of the chat room, and my website, I put it in underneath that, and I'll tell you what it is. It's Not Helpful USA Legislation's People.braysites.com. That's Not Helpful USA Legislation's People.braysites.com. Not Helpful USA Legislation's People.braysites.com. Go there, enjoy yourself, look it over, support it if you would like. If you have the opportunity to support it any way you can. And I even help you try to support it with the opportunities that I offer in case you need a secondary income or main income or third income or whatever you might need as far as money. I'm quite sure you'll find something there that you can involve yourself with and make yourself some extra dollars. So peace and race first.
Peace and race first. And thank you for sharing, Dr. Shams. I agree that, yes, of course, without economic emancipation, we're going nowhere. Everything starts there. So thank you for that reminder. Okay, so
Yeah, I'm sorry, Lady President. I did forget something as well. To talk about economic empowerment. Thank you, President John. I'm thinking the same thing on the same page. We are raising money for our Liberty Hall, and we appreciate any and all contributions. We have our Cashapp on the screen here. So thank you all for your support in advance. We appreciate it. We have to have a place of our own that we come together and do the works. So if you want to donate to any of our other funds, we have our charitable fund as well. So here's the Cashapp on the screen. Race first.
awesome. Thank you for that, Brother Macias. Okay. Brother Imhotep, are you on the call with us today?
Yes. Greetings, Africans.
Greetings.
I've enjoyed the topic and the discussion, and I really don't have anything more to share. Race first.
Race first, Brother Imhotep. Thank you so much for being on the call with us today. Okay, next we have Brother Andrew. Brother Andrew, are you on the call? Please unmute if you are. Okay. We can come back to Brother Andrew. Let's see. We've heard from briefly from Brother Ross Marvin before. Brother Marvin, did you have something else to share with us today?
Not at the moment, Lady President, but it's a good meeting. Thanks for everyone being here, especially former Third Assistant President General, Brother Charles from Oda, DC, and also President Lorraine Butler, Queen Lorraine Butler from UNIA Division 330 in Washington, DC. That's all I have to say right now. Race first.
Race first. Thank you for that, Brother Marvin. Okay. President John, I know you started the call out and share in many ways. Did you have anything else you'd like to add today?
Yes, Lady President, briefly, if I may, thank you. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Great meeting. It's been a great meeting and a great year. We're wrapping up 2024. We just had our executive meeting with our executive officers yesterday, kind of recapping some of the accomplishments throughout the year, some areas where we can be better in 2025. And the main focus going into 2025 is going to be membership, reaching out to membership and activating membership. So I encourage everyone now, if you haven't already, please pay your dues. Please pay your assessments for next year. Those are due January 2025. But yeah, we're already planning for next year, planning to have a successful 2025. I'm very proud of our officers, proud of our division and our membership. And we just have to continue to work, continue to work. We'll get a couple weeks off. I don't know if we'll have a mass meeting fourth Sunday in December. We'll see how close that comes to quote unquote Christmas, and see if we'll continue that meeting. But just wanted to let everyone know, the division is doing well. And we always, need your additional support and encouragement for 2025. And the best way to do that is make sure you are an active dues paying member. One other thing that I've got is a quick announcement. Change my share screen. There's another program that we've got coming up in a couple weeks. And we'll be doing a joint program with our Chicago brothers and sisters. And we'll be looking at the Constitution. So I'm going to send out a flyer for that very soon. I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it on the screen now. But December 21st, we'll be getting together. We'll have a 6-hour program. And yeah, we probably won't have mass meeting on the 22nd, because if we got a 6-hour program, I probably won't have the energy for another program the following day. But that's all I've got. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Thank you, officers. Been a great year, and we're looking forward to 2025.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Brother John. I'm going to circle back because since we've been sharing, I believe a few more people joined us on the call. So I'm just going to circle back to see who was not with us when I called and who is here now. Is Sister Aziza on the line with us? Okay. All right. So moving right along, Chaplain Mitchell, are you on the call with us?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry. I didn't respond the first time. I was busy watching my daughter. But I would definitely like to say I came in on the last end of the meeting. I don't really have too much to say. I hope everyone.
Pardon me 1 second. That I was invited to this.
Hello.
Hello.
We still hear you. Continue.
Continue,
Yes.
Chaplain Mitchell.
Yes. I was saying I hope everyone has a blessed week, and I look forward to the next meeting next year, whenever it takes place. Last meeting. All right.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Chaplain Mitchell, and thank you so much for joining us on today's call. And let's see. I may say this incorrectly, this pronunciation, but I see Mahat Anakatat joined us. And I'm not sure if
Sister Ma'at, are you there?
Okay. If not, let me come back and go to Sister Desiree, also joined us on the call.
Sister Diane, Desiree, you know the situation with Sister Desiree.
Okay. All right. So, if there's anyone I did not call on who wishes to share, please do so at this time. Forgive me if I overlooked you, and please share, comment, concern, questions that you may have.
Russ Marvin.
Okay.
You got a few minutes after this meeting when we close out. You hang on for a few minutes.
Yes, I'll hang out.
Thank you.
Okay. So if no one else has anything to share, I would like to share something.
Mr. President.
It's not financial advice or anything like that, but there's a little awakening going on over in the crypto space. And there's supposed to be a meeting this evening, 60 minutes, about XRP founders. If anyone been keeping up with that, I think they were sued, and there's all kind of stuff going on with the SEC. And now I think as America scramble for a way to save the dollar, they're kind of embarking on the digital space. And just a little hint, not that I'm advocating cryptocurrencies or giving financial advice, but word on the street is that this thing is going to go from I think it's about $2.50, and it's projected to go to like $1,000. So even if somebody had 100 shares, and even if that was true, that can maybe have a financial impact. So I think the 60-minute meeting is tonight, and it may be going on as we speak, but just want to share that, as well as say thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on our exciting call today, as we learn about two very powerful women in the organization that we don't often talk about.
Sister Diane.
Yes, sir.
What backs crypto? What backs it?
The American dollar.
Go ahead, Brother Mason.
The American dollar.
Its value is rooted in the dollar.
Okay, so if the dollar falls, then what backs crypto? You got people putting money into crypto. American dollar is backed by supposedly gold.
Our American dollar is not backed by anything. They got off the gold standard since Nixon.
Okay, so is it backed by the billionaires?
It's backed by user confidence. That's
So
what backs it now.
Say that
User
again, Brother Messias.
it's backed by user confidence that
Right.
that they can use it for to liquidate it to get the assets they need. So we all agree that the dollar can be a medium of exchange. So it's the most trusted medium of exchange. So it's our trust in it that it's a unified medium of exchange is what backs it.
So I have other questions about that, and we can get into that later on. Race first, family. Thank
Race
you.
first. At the end of the day, I think it boils down to, like, when it comes to these cryptos, again, I'm not really like giving financial advice, but at the end of the day, I think it comes down to utility. Like, what kind of usefulness does the currency have today, or will it have in the future? And everyone has to, of course, do their own research. But as far as the research is concerned, there's a lot of utility that's associated with this coin called Ripple or XRP, and there's a lot of talk going on about it, and so that is driving the price up.
I had
So
money in crypto a few years ago, and when that little boy was caught, I lost it all. That's why I'm asking what backs it. Race first.
Can I speak to that, Lady President?
yes, please go ahead.
When we thinking about it all being backed by user confidence, and what Lady President is saying right now, people are talking about XRP. So and when you said when the guy went down, all the confidence in his coin went down. That's why you lost all your money. So just to kind of veg you back on what Lady President is saying, if the people are talking about XRP, then all the confidence is going there. So if you track confidence or what people are talking about, you can kind of float the market and make money that way. Just kind of, but right now people are talking about that. I'm not backing it, but I'm just saying if you track user confidence, then that's how you can know when it's going to fall or rise in any of these currencies.
So it's all on a hope and a dream.
Say it again.
It's all on a hope and a dream.
And you got to get out before all the hope go away. It's not financial advice. This is just not also advice for the UNIA-ACL. This is a member share, and all the things you may hear may not be associated directly with the UNIA-ACL, and we ask that you all listen accordingly.
Oh, thank you for that disclaimer. That was perfect.
Yeah, race first, my brother.
So if anyone, I'm finished sharing, that was just a little side thing. And again, we had an excellent meeting, and so happy to have everyone on with us. Does anyone else have anything else to share?
Yes. I would want to say thank you, or I'm thanking the host for just kind of guiding the conversation and allowing it to edify and everybody listening. Thank you, sister, for that information about the cryptocurrency. If I was gonna say what the American dollar would be backed by, I would say it's backed by oil or some type of or energy in that regard. Just when you look at, there's a social aspect to it, like this social contract that people who trade the dollar buy into. But from what I gather, it's like they're fighting over what type of energy is gonna back the dollar. So with the cryptocurrency thing, crypto is backed by energy, from what I gather. So if we stop producing energy, then crypto no longer works. And then, but when you look at, you know, like the American dollar from like the Federalist view or like a Republican Party, I would say they're trying to keep the oil wherever they can pump oil to keep the dollar on that petrodollar, because they could manipulate the prices, or, you know, like as more oil is produced, you know, the dollar is able to circulate, and it's so fluid. Everybody needs gas. So that's why here in the United States, you can see 5 gas stations on between 2 lights. So that's what I would say if we were talking about what the dollar would be backed by. But yeah, thank you for y'all everybody's input this evening.
And thank you for that, Brother Ansley. So I know most people really don't mess with cryptocurrency or familiar with cryptocurrency, but the most that people might hear about is Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is like right now at $100,000. So that is where they're saying XRP is going to go to. Again, it's all speculation, and we're not giving financial advice. But at $2.50, not a lot of money to spend. even if you get 10 of them.
Lady President, I did want to fix that one thing. In 1970, they had the OPEC agreement where they first decided to exclusively trade oil in the dollar. That's what the war was to try to take out Saddam Hussein was all about. Because at that point, they decided to not exclusively trade oil in the dollar. So it was no longer backed by the dollar. It opened it up to other currencies. I think that was actually in 2015, I believe, that they opened it up to other currencies. So it was no longer backed by oil. But in 1970 it was, but it no longer is today. But they do still have sub-agreements, but not exclusively.
But oil had already been established in the stock market. So whatever the stock market did, oil was going to do. And they were smart enough to divvy out to other industries, where when those industries rose, they also rose. And so a lot of people made it rich, but oil now is on the downside of everybody, because there's only so much oil in the ground. And cryptocurrency is not backed by oil, gold, or anything until they conquer Africa. So that's my point. We need to focus on the motherland. Race first.
Race first. Thank you for that, Brother Art.
I like the Africa comment. I could definitely see that, because that's a continent where you can produce energy like the entire 24 hours, like in a time zone. Or how would you say it? You could produce enough energy within the time that's allotted through solar power. Because what's the place up in Europe that I think is that it's along that same line, where like during certain periods of the year, they don't have, it's not night there. It's like maybe like night for like an hour or two, or it gets darker, but they can still, I'm trying to think about that. But I like that viewpoint of, you know, the crypto currency being not really touching its full potential until it like busts in Africa, or until it takes off, rapidly in Africa. If you want to listen to something where Joe Biden, he went to Angola on Monday of last week, and when he's addressing, like, I guess, the Angolan dignitaries, he tells them, he's like, we've spent a lot of time like fostering this relationship with the United States and the United States foreign policy in Angola. And I seen a spin on this about how it's affected, how the DRC is going to be affected by it too. But that's a little something else to like kind of look into. But with the Angola situation, he tells them straight up, he's like, hey, even though the administration is switching, the investments we made in Angola, they can't take that back. So, like, he explicitly says that Africa is the future. He says that verbatim, Africa is the future, and they know that.
Let me say it so it's a little easier for all of us to understand. Their technology can't exist without the resources from Africa. Race first.
Race first. This is true. And even now, what's going on with Burkina Faso? Their uranium was powering Europe. France in particular was taking the uranium for a little bit on the dollar and then distributing it to his European counterparts, while they weren't using the uranium for their benefit, and they were without power. So now we have a situation where there was a coup, and that is stopped. The French army was ordered to leave the country, and right now they're listed as the fastest growing country in that region, Burkina Faso. So absolutely, Brother Art, a lot of these so-called, first world countries wouldn't be where they are today without the resources of the motherland. And so we have to find ways, to create industries in Africa. Absolutely.
We have to find ways to unite.
Yes.
When we unite, all of that other stuff stops.
Yes.
That's so true.
I agree.
That's so true.
Dr. Shams got his hands up.
Race first.
Race first.
I think BRICS is the up and coming new currency that's challenging the dollar right now. And Trump is trying to outlaw or ban BRICS. He want BRICS to stop, because if BRICS succeed with their currency, it will demolish the value of the dollar. So they trying everything they can to hold BRICS back. Also, I have on my website a few links about Africa as well. I have a link called Africa for the Africans. It's a Google link. Africa for the Africans. I have African Continental News, and I have Pan Africa TV. So if you want to know what's going on in Africa, visit my website, Not Helpful USA Legislations People.braysites.com. Peace and race first. It's in the chat.
Peace and race first, and thank you for that, Brother Shams. And Sister Queen President has got her hand raised. Go ahead, Sister Queen.
Yes, I was listening to what you all were saying. I think my concerns now, as far as what's happening in Africa, in places like Ghana, where I know a number of African Americans have received their citizenship, I think it was last week, or the week before last, which is good. but I'm hoping that we can do some things over there because we don't have any. Ghana has allowed the U.S. to have a military base there, and I'm concerned with that. I'm also concerned with the presence of the Chinese infiltrating Africa at this point in time. And I'm just wondering what we can do, because they're allowing it to happen, looking at it as I'm concerned with them constantly giving it, looking for a handout. And I shouldn't say it like that, of being over here in the United States. But I don't know, when we go over there, they're not looking at us as being helpful unless we're giving money instead of, I'm thinking, providing knowledge and resources and things in terms of building the infrastructure. We helped build the infrastructure over here in the United States. Why did we need the Chinese to come over there to show them how to do that? Or doing it themselves? Because from what I understand, in the beginning, they were using, allowing Africans and Ghanaians to do the building. And then since then, now they're importing all of these Chinese to come over to do the infrastructure. So once again, we're out of work. Everybody will keep on making the same mistakes. And it's happening all over the country, all over the planet, including here.
Well, I think the only way we can really be involved is to go there and get involved. The Chinese are going there. Everyone's going there except us. But I was watching something recently. Again, I'm not promoting any particular people. There is a couple brothers that does a YouTube program. It's called EYL, Earn Your Leisure, I guess is what that stands for. And it's YouTube, and it's some brothers that are always promoting, basically the markets, different things for economic enrichment. And one of the program I watched recently, they were talking about investing in Ghana. And there is one gentleman that was on the program. His name is Jacques Garvey, and he's been heavily involved in the Congo and on the ground with, some of the things that are going on in the Congo. So that might be something that's, there's a lot going on as far as the diaspora going to Ghana and other African countries and making a difference.
Right.
But the EYL, recently they were talking about real estate, getting involved, investing in Ghana. There might be an episode that's worth watching. This EYL, and the program was about investing in Ghana.
I see.
That might be helpful to just kind of shed some light on what some of the stuff and how we can get involved.
Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, because I'm really concerned, and at this point in time, I really don't know what to do. I know we need to do something,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So and it's profound what you were saying about nothing will happen until they get into Ghana in terms of any of these crypto finances, currency.
Absolutely. I think if the crypto hold its weight and stay viable, I think that's going to do phenomenal on the African continent. Look at the population. Once we find a usable crypto that we could use there, depending on where that goes, then that's a possibility to keep in mind. The usefulness might not be there right now, but it's definitely something to watch.
I'm just thinking, why do we need crypto if Africa, the continent, has the gold, it has the resources, it has everything? I'm trying to figure out how we can be self-sufficient.
Well,
Right?
Africa, well, the
That's
continent
where
right now
unity comes in.
should be number one because the continent is the only place where all that resources exist to back its currency. But what has happened is the Europeans have gone there and devalue the currency. So the whole thing is flipped around. The place that should be number one because of all the resources to back its currency. I mean, you're having I don't know the conversion, but I think the Ghana dollar is called the CD, and
Right.
you're talking about 18 of those to one US dollar. US have nothing to back its currency, and
But
Ghana.
that's
Go
where
ahead.
unity comes in, because we know how the system of the world works. So when we unite with our brothers over there, we can control it all. That's why you got China, you got Russia, you got the Swiss, you got everybody trying to get into Africa to set up their own crypto. We got to be there also, and we got to be there united. Race first.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Diane.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I appreciate that for sharing, and anyone who wants to share, please don't hesitate. And that's a good point.
Yeah,
Sister,
I agree with that. That's definitely the case. But we need to do it in numbers. I think that's the problem. When I was working with different places in the union here in Washington, D.C., you need what is it? As Doc used to say, a critical mass or critical, and it doesn't have to be a lot, but it has to be enough, if that makes sense, of us going over there with one accord. And I think that's the thing that we have to really work on, is going over there with one accord, because as a group, we have to be on the same page.
Absolutely.
We're there yet. And that's the thing. We have to decide, are we going to go over there and really support Africa, or are we going to stay here and fight for reparations, or are we going to do both, or what? And I don't know. I just think that things are kind of done here.
I think you're right. It's not so much the money, but our numbers. If we get on one accord, just by the sheer fact that our numbers are so vast, we can be amazing. So we just have to get in that mind space and get
Right.
on one accord, and then we can be powerful. And I think that those days are coming.
If we have a stake in the resources in Africa, reparations won't be no problem.
Yeah, we won't need it.
Exactly.
We won't have to worry about it. But then I hear people saying, well, my ancestors built this country, and they did. But, we've been fighting about this, and they're still giving the money away to Ukraine. They can come over here and they get housing and whatever it is. Ukraine has nothing to do with building this country, but yet and still they're giving it out to them.
Exactly.
I think we need to invest in the continent, but we need a coalition, I guess. And I know individuals are going over there in small groups, but we need a critical mass. If it's how many people, we need a critical mass at this point in time.
That money United States sends to anywhere in the world comes off our back. So they think they got an infinite amount of money because we don't have any clue of what our birthright is. So they think They got control of all of it. And for a long time, they taught us to think that they were right. It's time for us to unite. When we unite, all that's going to change.
Absolutely. Race first. Absolutely. Thank you for that, Brother Art. I think as President Queen was saying that the critical mass is what's going to be needed, and I think we're on the brink of critical mass. We're every critical mass that's ever been reached started somewhere, and I think the writing is on the wall. They kind of sense it. They kind of sense it that we're waking up, and we're not going to be under their feet forever. They don't know how, but they see something coming, and that's why you have them bringing in people like Ukrainians, and they're anything but uplifting us that's their last thing. So they'd rather go to a foreign country and import people than work with the people who build this country. So that hypocrisy is not going away, but they sense that.
That's why they're arming, because they think the only way to do something is by force.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm concerned with the fact that they have an army in Ghana. They not an army, but they have a military base there now. They need to get out.
Well, a lot of African countries are kicking them out. Chad, Mali, Burkina Faso, all of these countries have been kicking out the foreign armies. So that should continue, and hopefully by the end of the new year, the next coming year, it'll be a different story there in a good way.
Yeah, because this election, if we didn't read the writing on the wall for this election, I don't know where else we,
Yes.
We got to read the writing. The writing is, this is it, okay? And even though they know that Agent Orange is crazy, they voted white, and that's all to it.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for that. That's an important point. Yes, and Sister Ra Ebony has joined us, and she's got her hands raised. Sister Ra Ebony, member share, please.
Greetings, family. Sister Ra Ebony. Listening to the topic, I feel like what my member share is right on time. So I have relocated out of Atlanta to the city of Wilmington, Delaware. Me and my family are now new residents here. We have been, before the move, of course, of all the circumstances and things and such, but in the midst of been different UNIA circles and talking to the third president general, looking forward to being a new leading organizer and lady president of the new Wilmington, Delaware division. So I'm not going to announce the president yet. Still working on that part. But just landing here in Wilmington, Delaware, and just wanted to share that with the family. So be looking forward to bringing more, seeing more members come from my way, saying once everything gets solidified and, done the right way and all that good stuff. We'll get into the fun parts, but that's coming 2025 from Sister Ra Ebony, future lady president of the Wilmington, Delaware division. So just wanted to share that with y'all. So, race first.
Race first, and congratulations, Sister Ra Ebony.
All right,
thank you so much.
Yeah,
race first.
Great news, Sister Ra Ebony. Looking forward to the future.
Absolutely, race first, y'all.
Was there anyone else that did not get a chance to share?
The thing on 60 Minutes about crypto is on now. if anybody's interested.
Thank you, President Lorraine. President, I think we can move to close.
Okay. Well, thanks again, everyone, for being on this amazing call. Appreciate everyone sharing. And if no one else has anything to share, I guess we can move to close. So I will turn it back over to you, President John.
Sure. And President Ross and Sister Cecily, please hang on after we close out. If everyone would, please put your black fists in the air and repeat after me. Please come off mute. One God.
One God.
One God. One
aim.
One destiny.
One destiny.
Africa.
Africa.
For the Africans.
For the
Africans.
Those at home.
Those at home.
And those abroad.
Those
abroad.
Up, you mighty race, you can accomplish
what you will.
Let's speak it into existence.
Up, you mighty,
Up, you mighty race.
What you will. Peace and race first.
Race first.